Alright guys, welcome back to another video by Fully Informed Trade, or Fitrade for short, knowledge for everyone. My name is Alex Cho, and in this video I'm going to go ahead and review gold, silver, copper, some copper mining companies. I'll talk about some growth silver companies as well, review some technicals, and talk about the fundamentals as well. And on top of that, I will always refer to the dollar index, as everything is tied to the dollar. Alright, so let's get to it. For starters, the US dollar index has had a sizable pullback. I did mention this in my previous video. It is probably trying to climb back up a bit, but again, it has confirmed a bit lower. You're probably going to see a couple climbs up, and then it's just going to continue going lower. Now, again, I'm pretty skeptical on the dollar index. I think that it's going to continue going lower, at least throughout earnings season, and then you'll probably see this, and then you will probably see a pretty sizable bounce on the dollar index. For right now, I can't be that optimistic. It has continued going lower. It has continued its longer term downwards trend. And again, when you're looking at a longer term downwards trend, you have to refer back to some areas of support, probably down in the $74 area, and then following that 72. So again, 74, 72. That's basically where I want you guys to look. I honestly think that the dollar index will start finding some strength towards the end of April and towards early May. So again, be very careful. Don't be shorting the dollar index once we get past May, because that's when a lot of people sell in May and go away. That's when the dollar index likes to strengthen. And of course, I want to point out that a lot of the language around the Federal Reserve is starting to change. Therefore, there's having such a strong downward trajectory for the dollar is no longer feasible once we get into May and you start seeing the Federal Reserve start taking actions to reduce inflation. Once you see those actions start taking place, you want to avoid buying silver and gold, and you would probably want to sell them and stay on the sidelines. And that's pretty much what I anticipate coming out of May. But for right now, I think that silver and gold should be able to continue their upwards trend. As you guys will see in this chart, silver and gold are making a comeback off the $40 area. I did mention that it was very positive that this commodity has been able to continue to close above 40. Therefore, it gave me confidence, and enough confidence to even say that you guys should buy into this as a bargain hunting incentive and a way to play the dollar index's ride lower. Now that, like I'm saying, and I said before, dollar index is going to go lower for only so long, and I would be patient. I wouldn't be too greedy. I honestly think that we could get to $50, but again, I'm starting to get a little. I'm starting to think that maybe $50 is a bit much. Maybe $45 is a reasonable area given the amount of time we have on our hands. But then again, given 15 days, I've seen silver rally up by around $4 to $5 before. So again, $45. I'm starting to back off on my $50 projection just because we're dealing with a much shorter time frame. If stocks sell off, gold and silver will most likely sell off as well, and that will also cause dollar strength and bond market strength as well. Alright, now gold. Gold has been able to trade up a little bit. It has been able to bounce off the bottoms that I've noticed. Again, gold, I was anticipating a pretty minor recovery inside of it, and that's pretty much what we've gotten so far. I wasn't expecting a long-term pullback, and I do believe that we could retest this area up here for a double topping pattern. But you just watch that. It'll look like a double top at first. If we're able to close above it and break above it, then chances are you should anticipate more strength out of gold. But again, remember, I'm still cautious on gold. I think 1,500 is as high as we get, and that's if we get there before the end of, before the mid or end of, before mid-May. If we can't get there before mid-May, I would stay away from gold after that point onwards. And remember, a lot of stocks will be sold after May. So again, stock sell-off means dollar strength. Dollar strength means gold and silver weakness. Next, I want to go ahead and point out one of my best plays. I think I like this stock a lot. It's first Majestic Silver Corporation. It has a lot of growth. I mean, it's been able to accelerate and compound earnings growth quite well. It does have a relatively high price to earnings ratio at around 55, and the stock has gone up from around $12 to $26 in the course of only a couple weeks. But I do believe that it has some good reasons for why it's going up so much, namely silver and gold have been appreciating at quite a fast rate. This company's earnings has been doing excellent. I'm guessing they're finding new places to mine on a consistent basis, and they're just outputting a lot of silver, therefore allowing them to grow at a really fast rate. If you want to play growth in silver, I think First Majestic Silver Corporation is the way you want to go. At least over the short term, I want you guys to be a little cautious on $26, but I do think we'll be able to retest it and probably break it. But once you see stock selling in May, you sell this baby and you take your profits off the table, and you be careful there. All right. So again, $26. It could go above that, but once we get into May, I want you guys to avoid buying stocks altogether, and commodities for that matter as well. Next, Pan American Silver. Pan American Silver, again, I'm pretty positive on this one as well. I do anticipate the bargain hunts will work out. I do believe that buying in at these levels are reasonable. You're buying into a pullback, and pullbacks always means, if you're buying into a pullback on a longer term uptrend, chances are you're going to make money off of it. Pan American Silver also has some pretty strong fundamentals, but again, what's really driving it is the upwards trend and stocks coming back, and the upwards trend in the commodity market as well. So, I anticipate stocks to be stronger across the board tomorrow, just because of dollar index weakness and because the silver commodity has continued its upwards trend. Now moving on, I want to focus on my next chart, which is going to be silver wheaten. Silver wheaten has had a hard time. I mean, it's constantly bounced at around $42. It's trading $42.40. Again, just keep accumulating shares at these lower levels, and eventually you should be pretty profitable. As you guys can look at a 3-month chart, it is trading at around $42. It has found support on it multiple times, and since the silver spot has been trading upwards overnight, I anticipate some strength coming out of the silver wheaten tomorrow morning. And also, since the dollar is weak and has continued to make new lows, I do anticipate stocks to start reversing and start trying to make new highs again for this year. So just be alert for that. I think silver wheaten is another way you could play a broader market recovery into earnings season. Next, I want to review New Gold. Yeah, New Gold. New Gold is another stock I think could recover pretty strong. And if you guys look at it, 1150 is your area of resistance. Be careful. That's pretty much that's pretty much a 5 to 8% bounce right there. Again, silver and gold should be able to make new all-time highs as dollar index is making new lows for 2011. And if you guys want exposure to it via stocks, I think New Gold is another way you can play these markets. However, I do favor First Majestic Silver, First Majestic Silver, Pan American Silver, and silver wheaten over New Gold. I think New Gold has upside, but not as much as the silver mining stocks. Next, copper. Copper has had a sizable pullback, and because of that, Freeport-McMoRan is having a really hard time getting its bearings together, trying to find some support. Again, I would avoid Freeport-McMoRan and copper altogether. And because of that, I also want to remind you guys that you guys should stay away from rare earth materials because there's going to be less demand for it coming out of Japan. As you guys can already see, throughout the day's trading session, rare earth materials initially started positive but continued to trend lower throughout the day. Again, I'm not too surprised on that. I want you guys to avoid rare earth materials. I'm pretty bullish on gold and silver, but I'm not bullish on rare earth materials. Take care, folks, and if you guys are interested in these videos, please be sure to go ahead and subscribe right below. Just go into my YouTube channel, and this is just yellow. This yellow button on the middle to the left, right below my video. And also, if you guys want to use the same charting software I use, please be sure to go ahead and check out the link right below my video. And yeah, so I guess I'll go ahead and leave it at that. And I'll have more for you guys in the weeks and months ahead. So take care.